All right. Hi, everybody. But then again, I just know I'm here listening to my own audio here going, but I think we're okay. Can you hear me all right, Chuck?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, and I can hear you fine. So we're good to go on this live. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been another week.
Yeah.
The weather's breaking a little bit here. I know it's not breaking. Oh, maybe it is breaking in Ottawa. I don't know. It's rainy and in the 40s, 55 on or so on Friday. So that 1 week of, single digit seems to be gone already. Not feels like spring. So I know it's not, but it feels like it. So
Yeah, and I always try to do the math in my head. So for us, obviously in Celsius, um, 0 is freezing,
right,
the
30.
freezing mark, and we were in the -22 with the wind chill. Um, so I'm trying to do the mental math right here, but either way, this is how cold it is. So for people that obviously live in the northern climates or ones that get snow or so one, I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. My name is Bill Corcoran. I have an outdoor rink in the backyard for my kid to skate on. So it's frozen nicely. And so he comes home from school and goes on there, which is great. The
That's
other
awesome.
piece that we have is a canal. So right through the middle of our city, although going from Kingston, Ontario, there's a lock system. That canal, they lower the water in the winter and it freezes over as a skating rink. So
That's
literally
cool.
I can go multiple kilometers. I guess probably about 10 miles, I think,
Yeah.
skating all the way, and it ends up right at our Parliament buildings, almost right
Have
down.
you skated the entire 10
Oh, yeah.
miles? Oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Oh,
how long does it
absolutely.
take to skate 10 miles there and 10 miles back, give or take?
Depends how busy it is, because usually it's packed. When it's good conditions, it's packed, and plus you stop for, a lot of the, uh, pastries and stuff that go there, so I'm not sure I've ever done it right
Yeah.
there and back without it, to be
So
to
there's
be
like
honest.
there's like
Yeah,
stores
so,
or
yeah,
whatever you want to call it, selling
I'm by
pastries
if
and
I'm by
coffee.
myself and you're going probably, a good 50 minutes or an hour, I think, but it's very
Cool.
ruddy sometimes, but they have this giant Zamboni with like 2 giant squeegees that go on there outside of it. It is amazing. I'll try to post some pictures of on my social, or send it to you,
Yeah, you
Chuck.
should.
It's
I
amazing.
can't skate. When I come to visit, you can teach me how to skate.
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I can drive a Zamboni. I drove a Zamboni for two
I
years,
remember you telling me that one point.
but I
That's so
cannot skate.
exciting.
I cannot
Okay,
skate. So,
deal.
anyways,
Alright.
enough about that. What are we
Yeah.
talking about? What are we talking about this week? What
Well, a
product?
lot of things, like, I would really the feedback from last week's episode of focusing on one product was amazing, and I love that we chose Glow.
Oh, me
Um,
too.
I think there's been a lot of breaking down, not barriers, but those preconceived notions or biases or thoughts about what collagen is and was. So I think I've had some good conversations about that with my friends, or at least I know they're watching. I know they're asking about what it is. How was that in your sort of circle?
Same. I have a lot of people because they saw me kind of because as we both know, and the people watching don't, but the company's done so well, they actually sold out of Glow for a while. And I really rely on it. I rely on that collagen. I told you it was my number one product
Yeah.
um, that I use. The arthritis in my back was getting worse. And I know a big part of it, I was missing the collagen, the Glow. And I, 2 days back into taking Glow and getting in my rhythm again, and I'm running around and doing everything. I don't even feel my back anymore. So I can't say enough about it. I mean, you and I have both talked about we will, for lack of better words, we'll never lie about what we're taking. We're not trying to do that. We just want people's lives to be better and introduce them to a product and products that are going to make their lives better because they made our lives better. And we don't talk about anything that we don't take. And you can be skeptical if you want. I think healthy skepticism is good for making decisions, but you and I are both believers and have story upon story, either our own or people that we're with that have just benefited from all these different products.
Yeah, and some of the challenges I think some people are also having is that if they were newer customers or wanted to come in, there was that delay of 2 weeks or 4 weeks in that piece, and so that can obviously, as us trying to support them in getting the product, if there is those things, there can be a little sour taste or view on their mind, but I that's been rectified.
Big time.
The company is invested in, you know, 100 times in their warehouse. The staff is up there, like the production of everything is up there. But people, when you make all natural products, you are really sourcing them and ordering them like 7 months ahead.
Yep.
So when they project as well as they can, and these are bright people, are owners of the company, everybody involved in that sort of development and process, when they when those targets are blown out of the water, you have to triage. And so we're just, that was October. We kind of kept it. December was a bit more iffy, but there are some comments out there. If you're watching this, those, I see the numbers right now, like January 15th to 22nd, we're all back to even par.
Yep.
There may be an outlier there. So right now, coming into the New Year's with those goals and saying, okay, I was looking at some was out of stock. Well, we're back there where we need to be.
Well, it speaks to the reason why we sold out of a lot of those core products is
Yeah.
because of the Transform.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
we introduced Transform and it did so well and it does so well for so many people. They were like, well, if this does this for me, I need to try some of these other things. And the core products that you and I talk about all the time, the Glow Collagen, the Mojo Coffee, those are the ones that just blew out the door and continued to, which is a good thing for a company.
Yep.
Might be bad if you really want to start trying it and you can't get your hands on it, but it just speaks to how well these products work for so many people and so many brand new people. So let's talk about Transform a little bit.
Yep.
You've done more with it than I have. I've taken it, and we talk about the biggest change for me. So if people don't know what Transform is, it's on the bottle, sugar transforming enzyme. So glucose management can be a big part of your weight management program and everything else that you're trying to put together for this brand new year. Hopefully you haven't given up on any of those New Year's resolutions that
Yeah.
everybody else starts to make, right? Where we're almost done with January, which is about right when everybody starts to give up on it. But for me, the biggest benefit I get from Transform would be how I how I feel, my mood, the mood enhancement from it, even though it's not necessarily for that, it's what you get out of it when your blood sugar levels are in balance, right? And that's what I've noticed more about myself. Now you've gone a little bit deeper and you've put the gizmo on your arm and all that stuff, so you can explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so for people that are watching this for the first time or just kind of learning more about this sugar transforming enzyme is, obviously we eat foods with a lot of sugar and we get a lot of comments, at least I do in my conversation with friends and family, people online, well, I eat healthy. Well, you know what? Even healthy foods have tons of natural sugars in them. So we're not just talking about diets that means I'm eating out a lot or downing pop or whatever. That we're not putting a stigma that it's only one way or another, But strawberries have a lot of sugar, bananas have a lot of sugars, and so what those do is they do create spikes in our blood sugar. And so I've always used the example of, if you're driving a car, even a great car or not so great car, if you're stepping on the gas after every green light and you're jamming on the brakes after at every red light, and you just constantly do that, that wear and tear in the car over time is going to be, not so great for it.
Significant.
So
Yep.
what this product does, it really works in the gut and precedes the absorption of sugars into our bloodstream, and so they turn that into fiber. And this is groundbreaking science. Trinot partnered with the research team that had looked into it, and it is proprietary to Trinot because they worked with them to get this. 10 years of research, from what I'm aware, in that piece. And there's a lot of things that we can and can't say. So I have my reference up there. I know you probably have some of your notes
Yep.
because there are some things that we just make sure that we are careful on. However, thickening of our blood and our bloodstream is because of more sugars in it too, amongst other factors, of course. So the biggest thing that we try to say is that, weight management is a part of it. However, this does way more than that. So, the mood for you, I noticed that too. Brain fog, I didn't know what brain fog was until I took this. So that clarity, that mental clarity, we for me, it's the cravings. So we've talked about intermittent fasting on
Yep.
our episodes previous. So I wake up and I take two of these transform pills even slightly before the hour mark beforehand. I will then have a smoothie with Nourish about mid morning to kind of break it slightly, and then I have a mojo around lunch, and then I have my dinner, which is my supper, more of a regulated piece. So the metabolism piece is going to be a word. Metabolic health is a word that we're really going to focus on that because it really surrounds our gut and what that means to have proper blood sugar levels. So
Right.
in October, when we came back at the end of September, and we came back with Transform in Our Hands from our Trinont Leadership Academy in Vegas, I was one that got one of the glucose monitors. I put it on my arm, and it scans it for 14 days. And what I learned was I did a baseline for a couple days and the spikes up and down. A lot of people think, oh, I eat sugar, everything's going up. It's actually the crash is down, just like after we eat without any of this. We're like, oh, I really just want to sleep and have a nap on the couch. Z machine's going to get me. Of course it does. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't or couldn't do that either way, but the need to feel that you have to, I've noticed a big difference because Canadian Thanksgiving was 2 weeks after we got back. And so it was a really good testimony for say, I'm not going to be eating so well there. Let's try it out.
Sure.
But what I found not only was it what started reducing the ups and downs, those spikes of my blood, the glucose levels, I noticed actually as it started leveling them out, it actually was leveling them lower. So I was hitting the warnings for low blood sugar a lot more often. So I had to adjust my diet to complement that. So then I took it off and I've been working on it and just more anecdotally over time. So that's been a great piece. And so a lot of people do go to the weight management piece. I've pushed that away from my psyche and what I promote of this product because I did not have the successes other people had in terms of weight management if they were viewing it as that as being some sort of solution for them. This product is not a weight loss pill. It's
Right.
not.
No, it's not.
It's
That's why
absolutely
I
not.
would say weight management, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's part of the process where what I have is that I've been documenting by taking pictures and I'm building up the courage to kind of share them where I've toned, I've lost some inches, like my pants are looser, but I have not lost the weight. Maybe a pound, maybe kind of fluctuating up and down. So it's distributed for those people that it kind of doesn't make sense. But what the science behind it
I
is
get
it
it.
takes it and it goes from that sort of visceral fat, to insulation fat. So visceral fat is kind of your stomach and all those paces, your love handles, those type of things, and it starts distributing it around your body. Then it becomes more insulation fat, which keeps us warm. Babies have a lot of it when they're born. And then from there, it continues to build it into muscle. And muscle is heavier than
Yes.
fat. So
Right.
sometimes that bump up is there. That's what happened to me. So if I was just solely saying this product was successful based or unsuccessful based on that, then not true. Two
Wait
to
a minute.
three
So
months of it is different.
well, when you said building up the courage, are you talking about doing like before and after pictures like we see all the time?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, but nobody
Yeah,
wants to
same.
see me that way.
But I
Yeah, no.
want to be I want to be authentic. I want to be authentic and
I
I'm,
will.
I'm
I
trying
will.
to maybe it'll be like a direct message or so. I don't even know yet. But
Nobody want. I'm gonna take a picture of the scale. That's about it. I'm just the scale movement,
see,
right? Like
that
from
that's
day
where
to
I
day.
wouldn't show any success.
Well, no, I get that, but
Yeah.
I would tell you that if you documented what you ate, maybe that is successful, right? Like we both talked, like you've talked about Canadian Thanksgiving, and
Mhm. Yeah.
it's been a minute since I've been to the gym because I've been working so much. And I need to want to get back into that routine. But if you ask my wife, I should weigh like 500 pounds based on what I eat. And I don't. And I didn't gain any weight going to Michigan and eating all my the stuff in Michigan. And then I mean, I was eating cookies like potato chips, like they were everywhere in my sister's house. And the transform helped me manage that, right?
Yeah.
So I could get on there and say, well, this is what I ate today, and I'd rip off like 5,000 calories worth of stuff, and then I could show that scale, and scale hasn't moved, right, at all. It still hasn't moved.
But
um
to your point, not all the way up to because
yeah.
obviously Christmas in there, New Year's, all the
Yes.
holidays, and then I had 2 hockey tournaments with the kids out of town, and I can tell you beverages were had, more snacks
Yep.
were had, later at night, I did not have a lot of my products in the morning to replace. Maybe I had a buffet breakfast instead of my Nourish shake. Like, I was out of routine I came back, and you think to your point that I should have gained 4 or 5 pounds,
Yep.
maybe a fluctuation of a pound, but this is what that does. It
Right.
regulates it, and so I found I put the monitor on my arm for the last 14 days. I just actually took it off today, and so what I found is I did not do a baseline, but where it started was right in the middle of the green zone. And for me, it just stayed there the
Right
whole
there.
time, including all these gluttonous times. And so again, I didn't want to eat as much. I'm okay. That curbs those cravings. I just noticed that mental acuity, like even when I take it in the morning and I start driving home from an early morning, hockey game out of town and coming back, like I'm awake. It is I don't feel tired, like, you're
Right.
tired because you've done lots of stuff, but you're not exhausted
Correct.
I
Yeah.
in ways that I was before, and it
Yep.
does lessen fatigue. So that's what I've been noticing. I'm gonna start putting that out on socials that it accumulates it over the 2 weeks, and it almost mimics each other, like, there's no high highs, there's no low lows, there's no low blood sugar, warnings that I was getting before, and that's with me being inconsistent
Yeah.
over those weekends. I didn't notice any huge differences over the weekends where I was not having as great self-control. I definitely wasn't having a lot of cravings, but when your mental oversees, like I know I don't need this, but I'm going to pick it up and eat it anyways. I'm talking about those, not because oh I'm super hungry and I need to eat that
Right.
second piece of or third piece of pizza or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm thinking too, like people say, well, after the holiday, after Christmas, I'll be good. Oh, after New Year's, I'll be good. But then it's Super Bowl, and then it's Valentine's Day, and then it's
There's
St.
something.
Patrick's Day. There's always something, or it's, oh, we're gonna get together as a family. And all right, after that, there's always an after, right? So you got to start somewhere. So why not tomorrow? Start tomorrow and just be consistent with it. And I've got to get back to doing that as well, so but I was thinking too, we've never said this before, I don't think, but if there's skeptics out there, and we like skeptics, we want people to have healthy and learn what this is all about. They should just request of you and I, like the friend request us, and we'll put them on the page with all the testimonials, right? Like, and they can see them for themselves. And those testimonials, yes, some of them are us who sell the product and talk about the product, but a lot of them are just actual customers that are like, I can't believe what this has done for me and how it's changed my life. And I think, just not listening to us, but reading some of those and hearing some of those other testimonials could convert a couple of people to have a better life, which is what you and I
Yeah.
talk about. Um, Sarah and I were talking, and I know you talked to her too about just getting older. I was telling her, my parents in Michigan, and you get into your 80s and 90s, and you're not as healthy, obviously, and age. I mean, father time is undefeated, but whatever I can do right now at the age of 59 to continue to have the life that I have in a better life in those twilight years, I want to do it. And if I can, if people out there can find the money to spend $3 a day on coffee, which means you're spending $90 a month on coffee, then you can find and budget a way to have one of these products, whether it's the collagen, whether it's transform, and start to make your body better, start to make your gut better and all that fun stuff so that you can have a better life, which is what you and I always set out to do for people anyways. So it's what it's doing for us.
Yeah. It's the quality of life versus lifespan and health
Mhm.
span, right? It's
Yep.
just, the science is starting to get there where we can get older, but at what enjoyment level
Yes.
is our big piece, right? To try to make sure that we can enjoy it and not just live longer. So this is what the rejuvenation of these products have done for you. It's
Oh,
what
big
they've
time.
done for me. It's what that they've done for thousands and thousands of people. And there's over 120,000 people in the group that you're speaking of. And some are
Yes.
asking questions, but most of them are either associates answering questions and posting testimonials or customers posting their testimonials. And of
Yep.
course, everybody's body is different.
Yep.
So you can't compare apples to apples here, right? It's you
But
have to
you
know if somebody's success was this. It may not be your success.
but you don't know until you try.
You don't know it exactly.
Yeah, you don't know it until you try it. It might be your success. And if not, what have you lost? You
Exactly.
tried to do something, you're a little bit healthier, right? So I don't know. I think it's worth the gamble in a positive way.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Chuck.
All right,
Pleasure as
man.
always, buddy. Yep, great
Absolutely.
episode. Transform, we'll figure out what we're gonna talk about next week, but, we'll chat about that offline. But,
You got it.
no doubt it'll be another great, Trinon product that, has made a difference in yours and mine.
And I'm hoping my dumb friends are watching.
Yeah, we nearly got there. Yeah. They
All right,
always
man.
are. There's always people watching.
I know. I'll talk to
Yeah.
you.
Alright, take care. Have a good night.